Hey everybody, Worst Pogue here. Just going to do a quick equipment breakdown to kind of show you guys what you can do to equipment to make it work better for you, and kind of stuff I've learned along the way. Hopefully the audio works better. Using AirPods. They're old and busted up, so I don't know how well they work. I couldn't tell a bit in my testing video where I tried to see the audio difference. I couldn't tell the audio difference. It may only be coming out on like TVs and stuff, but off of phone that I was watching it on, couldn't tell the difference. So going on to the kit. So my main direct action style kit is a SPC, Cry SPC. As much as I don't like them, like Caleb, I don't mind the stuff the people at Cry make. Well, they make a lot of good stuff, but I have modified it. So this is a rip away shoulder strap. I'm not personally a fan because it can be accomplished by a tube. Now, I've modified this. This now is a tube opening on one side, not either, but it does the same shit. Second mod, I'm gonna do top-down modifications, is a buckle movement for a 1-inch buckle to put that onto the strap, so that way when I do unattach it, it's already on here and the backpack stays attached, which it's a piggyback style backpack. Previously I had the buckle here, and I still have an emergency buckle here just in case, but there's storage. It's literally just storage to have 2 spare buckles, so that way I can, if something breaks, because all my stuff is 1 inch across the board. I have a Thyme dark bolt with just a run-of-the-mill Betsy Ross flag, because Betsy Ross is a badass bitch. If you don't know her true story, you should look that up on yourself, because the true story of Betsy Ross, she didn't make the flag, but this true story about her is way more like American, like true patriot than people realize. So like represent, not really, but I like it better because it's a traditional American flag, and also it's got a cool story behind it. So regular Betsy Ross flag over the Thyme dark bolt, frog camo, because frog camo's cool. Inside of it I have my note-taking gear. This is just for notes, and then Bible in case I need to read some of my rights, and then lens cloth that I have put Velcro section on to attach inside here. That way it keeps it out of the way. That's inside there, and this gets caught. Traditionally this is for nav, but I don't have any personally owned electronic nav equipment, and I'm not a big fan of the Air Force having ultimate control over that stuff with the Garmin system. Well, any sort of nav equipment that you buy that's electronic, the Air Force has ultimate control, since the Air Force satellites it uses, in case you didn't know. Moving down, I have my ranging books, which has ballistic data in it, general notes, conversion information for like quick math, different data loads. This is M855 A1 data sheet for my gun, which I don't have enough to fully complete this data, but I have a decent bit of data that I collected and kind of mathed out in comparison, did estimated guesses, but so far it's been on as much as I could test. Then I have superformance 75 grain, and so on and so forth. So stuff like that. And for ranging, instead of electronic device, I have a Black Hills design ranging card, and it has a little piece here. What you do with this is you take this little tassel and you put this in your mouth with it undone. You hold it like this with it in your mouth, and you can essentially gauge based on how it fits in here traditional things like doors, fencing, like farm fencing, trucks, like a regular SUV style truck, SUV, average SUV, box truck, semi truck, door, person, and it helps you with all that stuff. You can put a glow stick in it and it illuminates all this. And then I also took Sharpie and then inked in and then rubbed off to create black lettering because it comes clear. Nothing wrong with clear, it's just, I also added this little section of paracord that gives me a little handle of sorts to pull out. So yeah, this is kind of a bitch to get in and out, but we roll. So let me get this back in here. So here's all my Lancer mags. I have obviously a lot of magazines. There's 14 mags on this kit, 13 mags maybe, 14. Yeah, 13 mags because the number one's in the rifle. Embarrass myself. I'm struggling to get a book back in its pouch, but it's because there's shit inside there that I need to cut out. It's got a lot of elastic in there, hook and loop. It's a admin pocket from Axle Advance, and the hook and loop is nice because I can tie stuff to it. It sucks at getting caught on shit. Can't get anything in and out of it easy if it's got heavy duty shit. So get that in there. Fuck it for now. On here I have, normally this is in this pocket. This is just a AR-15 style tool. It's got scrapers, but the main thing I use it for is the bolt override function. Sorry, wrong one. The bolt override function, which gives me a chance to really rack it. If I can't mortar around, like get up, stand up, mortar around, or do the starting method, like you start a dirt bike, where you put your foot on the charging handle. It only works with like mil-spec style charging handles or similar style, and you just rip your foot down with the weapon pointed away from you or anybody. If you can't do those methods, which are more effective, this is pretty helpful to have. It's got like generic scraper tools on it, which they're good to have. Scraper tools aren't ideally the best thing. It's got a takedown punch and then a front sight post tool, which was helpful for the M4 and M16s, but that normally sits right here. I just had it out because I was using the front sight post tool. Then I have a magazine here, a lock magazine here. And then in the front pocket where my Sons of Liberty flag is, I have mosquito net tied on here, additional ear pro, spare ear pro, a paint can opener to extract rounds without using a ramrod. This works really well. I've used it a few times already on the M4, the fake M4. Face paint and a Sharpie for marking, and a medical information dog tag. It's not much of an identifier dog tag, but it's just medical information. The purpose of that is if somebody wants to do something nice and save me, they can. But if they can't or don't want to, it doesn't give them more information than needed. It's not really, it's not a military style thing. Moving over on the front side of the chest rig, I have my navigation pocket, and inside of that is maps. Actually, I've got some energy glue in there too, and a Cliff Bar that I forgot. It's a crushed Cliff Bar. It's all melted and crushed, but that's fine. It's still tasty. Shit for like navigation and stuff, and a compass with tritium in it, so I can do stuff at night. And all that is dummy corded. I also have Ranger beads, essentially using paracord that I've made and melted on. Some of them are kind of fucked up, but they're all, if they come off, they stay in the pocket, so not that big of a deal. I didn't have beads at the time. I'm probably going to remake this, but it's sewn in, and then I have tan and black, so I can do two count paste count, and I also have another dummy cord section, so that works great. I can also pull that out by itself and just count, have that hang in there rather than having the whole pocket open. Since it's sewn onto the top edge of the pocket on the inside. Next thing I have is a combat ghillie from Cry, which is just a really light, quick ghillie. It's easy to fight in because it's open on the front. Pull it out. But it's easy to fight in because it's open on the front. It's quick to get in. It's pretty durable. I say that as I'm about to probably rip it, pulling it out. No. But it's easy to fight in. And the main thing I like about it is it's really lightweight. I have it on my kit because screaming yourself out always is nice. And this is a really nice way to do it because it doesn't even have full sleeves. It just has a wrist section or a forearm section. So they're cool. They're pretty inexpensive too. I think they're like $70, which is a cool thing. They do get caught on a lot of shit, but they're one of the cooler things. But they're not like a full ghillie. I don't like that this is called a ghillie, but whatever. I 100% put this on wrong, but yep. And it's got two sections, so when you do lay down, you can have one piece going over you and then one piece that goes over your gun. Shit's tangled as fuck. Whatever. Cool. Well, it's tangled as fuck, but that's because I think I fucked it up by pulling it out. But whatever. Yeah, I'm not trying to make the video long by fucking with that, but that's what that is. It looks a lot better once you put it on. If you go to Cry's website, it'll show a better picture of how to wear it. But it's not. I'm not trying to show it off, so I'm not going to bother. It gets caught on shit really easily though, but it's pretty tough. It's also waterproof, so it doesn't pick up water. Going inwards from there, I have my magazines. I have a quick pull first line on the chest rig section of the kit, and I can wear just the chest rig by itself. And then the chest rig is attached to a side wing via these little T-clips that the SPC has. They're like 1-inch webbing T-clips. They work great for attaching stuff to webbing. Yeah, it's attached to the B's Combat Systems side wing for the HH heavy rig, the Haley heavy rig, the D3CRX or D3CRH or whatever. I helped B's get the measurements for that. B's made me like 2 different ones, and it works pretty great. But they're connected, but I can also strip it down to where I just have the minimalistic 4 rows of magazines, and I can double it up and get up to 8 mags on just the main one. But it does have on it a Hather Strategic Quick magazine, and I like those better, even though they're a little bit thicker. I like them better because there's 2 forms of retention on it: the clamping retention of the plastic and the elastic retention. I can also put different size mags and all this. I can go up to a 308 mag if I want to, so I can run different weapon systems. Same thing with the Spirited Systems mag pouch that I have right there. Moving inwards though, it is Defender plates level 4. This is an extra large carrier. I have wide enough shoulders that I can run extra large and still get a pretty good stock placement, especially with the limb saber that's on my main rifle, because that pushes it around and allows it to bite into the plate and shift over onto the plate a little bit, which works great. I'm still probably going to move to a large front plate just to give me that extra little bit that I need to get more cupping with the rifle, but as of right now I don't have any issues. But I'm staying with the extra large back plate because it's not that big of a deal. And then once I run side plates, I'll probably not run soft armor at all. So, but as of right now, I got soft armor too. Not on the sides, but behind the plates and front, just to catch edging and stuff. But yeah, Axle Advanced cummerbund, the Equinox cummerbund. So I have first spear tubes on the side. Makes it easy to put on. It is extra large slash extra large variant. They're pretty good. It is that size for the future side plate stuff, but I'm probably not going to keep it when I go to it. Sorry, I have a throat lozenge in my throat, so I don't like cough and stuff while making the video because I'm starting to get sick, a little sick. Down with sickness. Oh, I also have pig gloves too on my kit. Pig gloves are good. I've burned through them a few times though. My main fingers have big holes from where the burns have opened up the holes, so there's that issue too. But I'm probably going to go to a Shaw Concepts carrier and just use their stuff all the way around because it's going to be the same structure. I may keep the shoulder pads, but it's going to be the same structure. And it has the first spear tube stuff already, so it works great. I don't have to. Also, I tied the front part of the plate so that way it squares off and I can get a rifle using the Bear Solution style stock method. So where the rifle is angled in the shoulder rather than straight. So yeah, so it's tied off for that reason, just so you guys know. On the back here, I have a Grey Ghost pack. I'm gonna take it off. I'm just gonna leave it on just to demonstrate. All in all, forgot to tell you guys the weight. All in all, this is around 40 pounds. Not a huge deal for direct action load. So inside this bag is, I'm not gonna strip everything out. I have an additional 4 magazines of 20, not 30 rounders, 20, and those have Hornady superformance in them, which up until recently actually beat out both in velocity and ballistic coefficient and maintaining velocity the Mark 262. Mark 262 now has a new bullet that's got like a G1 ballistic coefficient of 4, I think, or 4 something, so it beats it out by a little bit. So it does outperform it, but previously it's still really good. It's better than the original Mark 262, and it's always sub MOA in my gun, and it comes out almost 3,000 feet per second or so. So that's good, and that's coming out of a 13.9. So great. When I say almost, it's like 29 something. But yeah. I have the Grey Ghost Precision, which normally has these little small, I think they're 3/4 or 1/2 inch buckles on it, but I swapped them out for 1 inch buckles, and I can still use it as a backpack. No big deal. It's got ammo in here, water. It has my water sack in them. This also attaches to my chest rig harness. I have an H harness from Bees Combat. That's a padded H harness, and it buckles onto that too. It buckles partially. It's buckled to the chest rig right now on the lower section, but it's buckled to the top on the shoulder pads currently. But when I move over, it buckles to the straps on the shoulders for the chest rig. So chest rig harness. So it all works. I like this because it's a 1 to 3 day assault pack, but I can get a lot of shit in this thing. It looks small, but it has this big expansion point, and it gets like I'd have to undo a lot, but it opens up and it has like a roll top style bag, and it creates this like little soft liner bag that's got between 2 hard pieces. It's got a hard piece in the back, and it's got a hard piece like inner, so it creates this nice little bit. The only thing I don't like is it pushes the water sack further away from you, so if you don't put something heavy, like if you just stuff it with a sleeping system, your water is going to be further away, but your water is protected from this shit by having a big plastic piece. So my water purification in it for spot purification. I also have inline filters that are in here as well, and then stuff to clean them. So if I get stranded out, I'm not screwed with just this assault pack. I have enough water. I have a little bit of snacks in here too, like high energy snacks, like not Cliff Bars, but stuff from like MREs and stuff, the high energy stuff. I have that in here. I have some spare garments, socks, some underwear, just to keep generic dry items. If I can also pack it with some winterized items if need be, but I live in Texas. Even when it's winter, it's still not super cold. So, yeah. Oh yeah, I also have some spare buckle stuff in here too, and a toolkit, bit kit that I've made. This is a Milwaukee bit kit that I painted, and then got some Craftsman bits and Milwaukee bits along with some spare gear aid tape on there to hold it closed. All those bits are bits that are on my gun, so I can pretty much strip my gun down to bare nothing, and it works great. Yeah, the last thing of sorts is the drag handle, the recovery handle from Spirit Systems. And, oh, yeah, shit, I forgot. I have the drag handle for recovering and stuff too, and I put on here because I forgot to have that added to this big tag right here for it. But I have drag handle, pull up here, kind of like fighter shit. And then over the back, because it is a SPC, has holes in it, and those holes can get caught on stuff. So to do that and to get the zipper out of the way, I think it's a WTF gear cover. And it's just a zip-on panel cover that zips on, keeps all this stuff smooth. It also covers up the overlap from the cummerbund and adds a little extra tension for the cummerbund. So that way, like, I can still breathe, but the elastic isn't taking up the full load because it has fabric friction on there as well. So I have that, and then just a Marine Corps patch to let people know, like, hey, this is multicam, but I'm not a dweeb in the Army, so yet. Spoiler alert, that may change. But yeah, it's just a regular recovery handle. If you don't know how that works, you should go check them out. But yeah, so the reason I'm using a piggyback system instead of a zip-on panel is so one, I can access it myself. Two, if I get in a vehicle, I can unbuckle this like the left or right side, have it sit directly next to me, and then if I get out of the vehicle, it falls to my side or around my knees, around a little bit above my knee area. So my knee's not banging into it, but it's on my left or right side. And it's hanging there, it's out of the way of my pistol, it's out of the way of my mag pouches, and it works great. It does get in the way of my secondary rifle mag though, just to be clear. But other than that, it's a really cool little thought process that people have done in passing, I guess, where nobody's ever put that thought into it and like discovered that. But it's a cool feature. I'll probably show it on YouTube later. But yeah, it's why I think the piggyback system should be everybody's stuff. Like, I get it, the memes like, you don't have friends, or just say you don't have friends or whatever. You're right, I don't have friends, but never mind. But yeah, I got friends. I just don't like having to put two people next to each other to fuck around with facts. Like, dispersion is important with things because you never know if somebody's being all shady and has a little clicker for something that's next to your foot, and you call your buddy over, hey, get me some shit out of my bag. Or they have shit in your bag that you carry, and everybody carries everybody else's shit, and somebody's like, hey, I want to put something really heavy in this guy's shit, fuck him, or whatever. But yeah, I digress. But I have that, and then I have Austrian Alpine buckle on here for it to connect to my combat belt. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget, if you like this type of content, I'm trying to put out more of it, but like and subscribe, and hopefully I can start making more and more of these videos. Yeah, thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, concerns, advice, tips, things like that, suggestions, hit them down in the comments. But other than that, just if you liked it, like and subscribe. If you don't, tell me why. So peace out.